are live in the K99 Country Bunker, as we've just named it. I like this. Joanna Smith has just named this. We have been trying to come up with a name for our basement studio where we invite artists to come and play for us, but I like the bunker. That is beautiful. That's it. Well, you are going to love this gal. Now, Joanna Smith just came and played for us. She's brand new, and this was the first time I got the pleasure to hear her. She did a 4-song set for us down here that just blew me away. And as I was saying, not just as a singer, but as a performer, you just blew me away because I couldn't take my eyes off you. My ears were tuned in, but I couldn't quit looking at you. You know, it's not just because you're a pretty gal and everything, but as a performer, you're very captivating. Did that come from a young age? Were you always an attention seeker, so to speak, or just accidentally got the center of attention?
Well, I'd have to say it was a young age kind of a thing, and people ask you a lot in this industry and coming up. They're like, when did you decide this is what you wanted to do? And I always don't have an answer because I never made that decision. It just was what I've always done. And one of my, oh gosh, I hope it never surfaces, but one of our
nobody's going to see this.
I know. One of my family's favorite home videos is on Sunday mornings, I would try to get ready early and get my little dress on so I could go into the living room and turn on Daddy's vinyl record player and play Great Balls of Fire so I could dance and sing. And we've got videos, and that's what I've always just been drawn to do. So, and I've done it since I guess my first performance we have on video was 3, but at 5 I entered this pageant, which is what you do in the South when you're a little girl and your mom wants you to have manners. She puts you in a pageant and tells you to walk out and smile. And so I did that, and the judge of the pageant was like, what would you like to be when you grow up? And I said, well, I already am a professional country music singer. I just don't get to get up on stage much. And he was like, okay.
That was at 3?
That was when I was 5.
Okay.
And so he said, well, sing us something. And I said, okay. And so I sang Have Mercy by the Judds. And then it's the craziest twist of fate. Later that night, they had an entertainer come from a neighboring county. And she gets up on stage while the judges are tallying their scores or whatever, and she sang Have Mercy. And so the judge came and found me. I'd already gone to sit with my parents. Our pageant had been over, and he said, honey, you don't get to get up on stage much, but now you do. And he stopped the pageant, and he told him to rewind this karaoke track. And he stuck me up on stage and handed me the mic, and I sang Have Mercy, and ever since then I've been singing every weekend somewhere.
You know, it's always been said, if you do what you love for a living, you never work. And
I never work.
And that's it. And this is, with me too. When I was a little kid, I was in the backyard doing Elvis shows when I was like 4 or 5 years old, inviting the neighborhood over,
yes.
And I would just perform. So, I mean, I've never really worked. I've just been me for a living. And it sounds like that's kind of what you're getting to do.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Anybody gets into this business because they love music, they want to perform music, they want people to hear their music. What do you want to do with your career? What do you want your music to do? Where do you want to be?
Well, growing up for me, I'm from Southwest Georgia, and there's not a whole lot going on. My dad's a farmer, and it was a very wonderful but yet very simple life. And there's so many people that live in places like that, and even if you live in the city, there's always, I think, a human desire to escape. And I think that music helps us do that, and it helped me. And not only that, but as you grow older and you start to experience the tough things in life and you lose some of that childhood innocence, music helps you deal with it. It's therapy, and music is so much, and it brings us all together, whether it's to forget, the bad day you had at work, or to help you get through a relationship issue. And I just hope that at its very core that my music does that. But I'm I have a lot of ambition, for better or worse, and I'm hoping to one day, I hope to play in like stadiums and big arenas, and to be able to share music at one moment with that many people. And this sounds cheesy, but I also want to do some really cool, unique charity work.
Outstanding. No, we've always said that if we could get rich, if we were the ones with the money, it would all go to schools, it would go to children, it would go to music programs, drama programs, just helping people.
Right.
I wish I could do that. I watch shows like Undercover Boss and things.
Oh, God, that show makes me cry.
Oh, it does every week. I mean,
It's awful.
And I just think how I would love to be able to do that. I used to feel the same way watching Extreme Home Makeover with Ty Pennington.
Yep.
I feel that You know, I have a job where I get to address a lot of people at one time.
Right.
And I feel that it's important that I use that in a positive way. I have the ability to make a difference in not just people's lives, but communities because of what we do for a living.
Absolutely.
You get to do the same thing with what you do, and I
Right.
love hearing that you want to do that. Now, we know that when you become an artist and you reach this point, a lot of people think, oh, it's overnight, it just happened. We know the work and everything that it takes into it, and I know that one thing that happens a lot of time with artists when they reach this point, you have to compromise yourself a bit to be something that the record labels want, and we're going to fit this.
Absolutely.
Do you feel at this point, because you've gone through many avenues and done that, do you feel that you're getting to represent you the way you want to represent you with this project you're getting ready to put out?
I absolutely do, and I have to say that it has been an evolution. And luckily, my label and I have been, you know, they've been great to work with because they've never asked me to be something that I'm not. And, you know, and then the music that we're about to put out is actually the last in a long line of music that I've created and that has evolved. And, you know, I've always tried to be very true to myself and never tried to be somebody else. But there is such a process to finding that, to getting as close to who you are as possible, you know, and not always just doing the obvious. But I think that the closer you get to exactly expressing yourself, exactly who you are in a way that's universal and that can relate to everybody else, is when you really hit on something good.
So this is going to be you, what we're going to hear. This is, you know, if this would have happened to you years ago, it might not have been the right time. Is this the right time right now?
I feel like if any time is right, it is now.
It is
for
now.
sure. I just feel like with me getting put on RCA Records, which is my dream label, and you know, and having, honestly, the single that we're putting out, We Can't Be Friends, if you'd asked me a year ago if I would be sitting here today saying this is my single, I would just be like, oh my goodness, because it was on hold for another artist and there was absolutely no way I was going to get to record it.
But
And
due to
things
a
just-
wrestle-off, she won.
Yeah, I
And she-
did. I said, look, to this dude named Kenny Chesney. I was
You
like,
can take
look,
him. He works out, but
bring
you can take him.
bring it. And so I took him down, you know, I hog-tied him, took his song, and here we are.
And I'm telling you, when you hear the song, and I told her when she sang it, it actually put a lump in my throat, and I'm not just making that out. My eyes started to get a bit, and the lump was there, and that's not just because of the song, it's the delivery.
Thank you.
Gang, we've got something real here in her, and let's get behind her. Joanna Smith is phenomenal. You're going to be hearing about her for a long time to come. She's the real deal, and it's been a thrill to have you down here in our
Thank
bunker
you.
to start things off.
I love it, the bunker. Yes, I love Colorado, so I'm ready to come back.
Awesome. We'll be looking forward to having you back. Thanks for spending time
Thank
with us. Absolutely.